say speech as a kind of speaking. So when we are speaking, there are certain parts in our conversation. So we will know in this class that what are these parts. So basically there are 8 or 9 parts of speech over there. Basically the 8. First are the nouns, then pronouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, prepositions, conjunctions, and interjections. There are 8 parts of speech. There are. I hope you guys are getting me. Anyways, a word is a part of speech only when it is used in a sentence, and the function that the word serves in a sentence is what makes it whatever the part of speech it is. For example, the word run can be used as more than one part of speech. In a case that I am going to present you the example of 2 sentences, that in one sentence the word run will be act as a verb and in the other it will be act as a noun. For example, Sammy hit a home run. Run is noun and direct object of it. But you must not run near the swimming pool. Run is a verb and a part of the verb phrase. You must not run. So here's a simple overview of the parts of speech and what they do. The first part of speech which we interact in our daily life is a noun. Now what's a noun is? A noun is a word used to name a person, an animal, a place, thing, or any idea. For example, a teacher, lion, eagle, Char Minar, and a table and chair. So there is a paragraph in front of you and you would have to find the nouns over there. For example, I'm going to write that paragraph. The major thoroughfares were already hit by the new gas, but this was not the bright and even glare of the late Victorian period. The light flared and diminished, casting a flickering light across the streets and lending to the houses. So they all are the common noun basically, but one noun is Victorian might appear at the first sight to be a proper noun because it is capitalized. But notice that it cannot take a plurals as ending the late Victorian period. In this sentence, it's an adjective modifying the noun period, and it is capitalized because it comes from the proper noun Victoria. But here it is being used as a common noun. Anyways, what is a noun? A noun is the name of any person, place, thing, or anything else. Like there are the different types of noun: proper noun, common noun, collective noun, abstract, plural, concrete, possessive noun, compound noun, singular, noun clauses, gender noun, predictive noun, and there are a lot of couple of types of the noun, but we will go through only the noun which are very common in the part of speech and which use in our daily life. So there are the different kinds of noun like common noun, proper noun, singular, plural, singular possessive, and plural possessive. Like common noun, the boy, girl. Proper noun, name of that boy like John, and the name of that girl like Mary. Singular noun is boy, girl, and plural are boys and girls. Singular possessive nouns are the boys. Possessive means that is belongs to that person. It means possessive, which we call in Urdu milkiyat. So if that thing is something, someone's property, or kisi ki milkiyat hai, then we will use that possessive noun over there, like boy's pen, a girl's ribbon. So this would be. And in the plural possessions, we use the apostrophe after the s, and in the singular possessiveness, we use the apostrophe before the s. So you would have to take care of that, where you would have to use the apostrophe. I hope that most of the students know that what the apostrophe is. Apostrophe is a upper comma type sign which you can see written in the singular possessiveness. Anyways, what's a common noun is there? A common noun is a noun referring to a person, place, or thing in a general sense, and usually you should write it with a capital letter only when it begins a sentence. A common noun is the opposite of a proper noun. Like a common noun is a common noun. For example, you're talking about a street. Street. Street is a common noun. But when you say Wall Street, then it becomes a proper noun, because there is a Wall Street which is present in America, and that is a specific street which you are talking about. Then it will become a proper noun. A common noun is always a common. When you say mosque, mosque is a common noun. When you say Faisal Mosque, then it will become a proper noun as well. You always write a proper noun with a capital letter, since the noun represents the name of a specific person, place, or thing. The name of the days, week, months, institutions, religion, etc. are the proper nouns. A proper noun is the opposite of a common noun. As a common noun is the opposite of a proper noun, in a very same way, the proper noun is the opposite of a common noun. So, in the following sentences, we have to find out the common nouns. We arrived early at the station. Station is a common noun. There are different species of fish. Fish is a common noun because we are not talking about a specific fish. The man was trying to steal his car. The man, like which man? We haven't put their name, put his or her, or whatever the name is that person who was trying to steal the car. We haven't mentioned that. So man and car both are the common noun. If I say that the John was trying to steal his Honda Civic, then John would become a proper noun, and because we specified the car with the model name, with the company name, manufacturer name, then the car would become a proper noun as well. They have gone to the zoo. Zoo is a common name, but when we say Bahawalpur Zoo, Lahore Zoo, Karachi Zoo, then it will become a proper noun. So there are a lot of bundle of examples, and I will share this document to you, these slides with you, and you will have to find the nouns which are being used in these sentences as well. Use the capital letters before the proper noun in the following sentences. Like 1, Paris, the capital of France. You can see in number 1, it's not written well, because the proper noun are always written with the first capital letter. Paris, P capital, France, F capital. William Shakespeare is a famous English author. Now there are the 2 proper nouns in this sentence. A language, which is English language, specifies as a proper noun, and the William Shakespeare is the name of the person, so that is also a proper noun. So we would have to put the capital letter in the beginning of both of these proper nouns. War and Peace was written by Leo Tolstoy. Now you would have to know that War and Peace is the name of a publication or a book, and that is a proper noun. So we would have to put the capital letters. There are some other examples which you can see over here. So when you will exercise, you can go through all of these examples. There are the different type of proper nouns that being used. So here I would like to mention that there must not be one proper noun into the sentence. There may be 2 or more, like the sentence Suez Canal joins the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. In this sentence there are 3 proper nouns are being used. So you would have to take care of each proper noun, and you would have to find first in a sentence how many proper nouns are being used, how many common nouns. Don't need to put the capital letter before the common noun, but you have to use the capital letter before the proper noun. Like Suez Canal, Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea. So there are the 3 proper nouns there. Now noun rules. The most noun changes their forms to indicate the number of adding s or es. When Matthew was small, he rarely told the truth. Many people do not believe the truths are self-evident. What the truths are basically when there is an addition of s, then it will changes. its form. Since we are moving, we need many boxes. So there are other nouns which form the plural by changing the last letter before adding s. And some words ending with the f form the plural by deleting f and adding ves. For example, there's one dangerous wolf in the forest. There are several dangerous wolves in the forest. Hyderabad is my favorite city. Hyderabad and Karachi are my favorite cities. So there is a difference you can see over here. Anyways, what is the plural form of the below mentioned nouns? Life would be lives, wives, bowls, enemies, eagles, losses, nights, babies, lilies, wishes, etc., etc. So you know very well that what is singular and plural that means. So what is a possessive noun? As I told you that there is a kind of noun which is called a possessive noun. In the possessive case, a noun or pronoun changes its form to show that it owes or is closely related to someone else. Like usually nouns become possessive by adding a combination of an apostrophe and a letter S. The red suitcase is Cassandra's. Like now it is depicting that this suitcase belongs to Cassandra. It's her property. That is why it's a possessive noun. Falika Hamon's poetry was once more popular than Lord Byron's. Now, here you can see that in both of these possessive nouns, at the one there is like apostrophe is before the s, and at the end there is apostrophe after the s. You would have to notice that apostrophe is always being used before the s with the singular possessive noun, but in the plural possessive noun it is adding after the s. Children's toys were scattered on the floor. And there's another example. Identify the possessive nouns from the following sentences. Correct the possessive noun in case of they are wrong. The dog's collar is too large. The sky's color is changing. Like, dog's collar is a possessive noun, sky's color. We enjoyed the children's play. Yes, children's play. My sister's name says Kate and Nick. So my sisters, as you can notice over here, in the sisters is a plural noun. So when we are making it a possessive noun, we would have to add the apostrophe after the s of that plural noun. So you would have to take care when you are doing your exercise. Lesson on pronunciation, like possible, cabin, commons. Contemplate, listen. Okay, what are pronouns? Our next part of speech is belong to pronouns. We have learned much about the noun. Now we are moving towards the pronouns. What is a pronoun? A pronoun can replace a noun or another pronoun. You use the pronoun like he, which, none, and you to make your sentence less cumbersome and less repetitive. Grammarians classified the pronouns into several types. So there are several types of the pronouns like personal, demonstrative, interrogative, indefinite, relative, reflexive, and intensive pronouns. Let's learn some of them in brief. First of all, personal pronouns. The personal pronouns are I, me, mine, you, your, yours, she, he, hers, it, its, we, us, ours. And there are the different forms of that. Like I, me, mine, you, yours, he, she, it, her, it is, we, they are them, theirs, myself, and yourself. There are for other which are interrogative. What do you mean by interrogative? Like in the by using these kind of pronoun, you are like interrogation. It seems that you are showing an interrogative behavior, like you are investigating something. You are asking who, whom, what, which, whose. Another indefinite pronouns like anybody, each, either, none, someone, one. Demonstrative pronouns like this, that, these, those, etc. etc. Now here are the fill in the blanks, like use a correct personal pronoun to help the words given in the brackets. For example, Dash often reads the books, and Dash is Lisa. Now you want to replace the Lisa, then you know very well that for the female we use she, and for the males we use he. So you would have to put in the blank, she often reads books. Okay. Dash is trimming. George is a male, as its name implies that it's a male. He is trimming. The garden dash is green. Now the garden. Now you would have to know that there are different division in the pronouns. You can't use the pronoun same for the living and the non-living things. Like you know that the garden is intact in the plant modern, it's a living, but in a whole the garden is refers to the non-living things. We'll use it. It is green. Okay. And not on the wall, the posters. Now we have to replace the posters. They're not on the wall. Okay. It is running. My mother and I are watching TV. Flowers are in the garden, etc. etc. So you would have to fill the suitable pronouns over here on the sentence building. You have put the relative who, which, and whose where necessary. Say out loud if the sentences does not need a pronoun. For example, Peter is the boy that rides the blue bike. Peter is the boy who rides a blue bike. Now, this is the boy dash who had an accident. Yesterday I saw a car. Now you know that car is a non-living thing. You will use which was really old. Mary is a girl. Home. You would use home over here. Home I met on Friday. I haven't seen Frank. And his brother is fine. Whose brother is fine? For a long time now. The robber stole the car. So there are the couple of examples which you can see, and you would have to write the true matching pronouns over there. Now choose the correct reflexive pronouns from the below menu, like myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves. Robert made this t-shirt himself because there is a single person mentioned in the sentence. Lisa is a girl, so we will use herself. Lisa did the homework by herself. We help whom we help. We help themselves. We help themselves to some cola and the party. Emma, did you take the photo all by ourselves? I wrote this poem myself. He cut Dash with the knife while he was doing the dishes. He cut himself with the knife. The lion can defend itself. The lion, the animal, will use it with them. The lion. We can't use he because he is only used to the human being. So the lion can defend itself. Anyways, there are further couple of examples over there. Choose the correct possessive determinants like my, your, his, her over there. Example, I've got a sister dash name. Her name is Susan. Hi Daniel. My name is John. This is my friend Jason. He is 12. Her sister is 9. His sister is 9. His pet is a bird. And his name is Dhillon. Jason and I go to the same school. There are 450 boys and girls in our school. Jason's farm teacher is Mrs. Peterson, and she has got a pet too. Her pet is tortoise. Our maths teacher is Mr. Smith. I like his lessons. He has 2 dogs. The dogs love to play in their garden. Now I have a question for you. What's your pet name? Okay. So you would have to put all of the suitable pronouns related to the situation, and these pronouns are called possessive determiners. Like they are determining and showing the property of someone. So they are the possessive determiners as well. Now come towards the third section, and that is a verb. What's a verb? Basically, the verb is a phrase that the most important part of the sentence. And a verb asserts something about the subject of the sentence and expresses the action, events, or states of being. For example, Dracula bites his victims on the neck. In early October, I will plant 20 rose plants. Plant and bites. Those are the verbs in this sentence. There are the different kinds of verbs like action verbs, express mental or physical action, like linking verbs, make a statement by connecting the subject with a word that describes or explains. Example of act, he rode the horse to victory. Riding is a verb which is used to some action. But linking verb, which we also say helping verb, so that has been. Okay, so has been is a kind of is, mr, was, were, have, has, had, be, been. These all are the kind of linking verb, or we also see them the helping verbs in our language. Identify the verb in each sentences. Drink is a blend of different flavors of juices. Blend. We ate a pickle with our sandwich. Eat. We took is a verb. The hall dented is a verb. The morning brought is a verb. Now, apart from that, which form of verb is being used in the sentence, you would have to know that there are the 3 or 4 forms of the verbs. The first form, the second form, the third form, fourth form with the ing. So in most of the sentences there the first form is being used. In some there is the second, third related to the situation and the tenses. And we will learn the tenses in our next class. You would be able to know that where we should use the second, third or fourth forms of verb. Okay, there are most confused words like as, where to use like, where to use as, I, me. So according to the situation of the sentence, you can use the I or me instead of. Now come towards the fourth part of the parts of speech, and that is an adjective. An adjective describes a noun or pronoun, like what kind of, or what is the state of that noun or pronoun. You are seeing in the picture, and that is depicting that there is a sun. What kind of sunset? It's a beautiful sunset. Beautiful is its property. Adjectives basically depicts the property. Adjectives are describing the words. An adjective is a word which qualifies a noun, that is, shows or point out some disgusting mark or feature of the noun. For example, a black dog. Being black is its quality. An angry man. Being angry is a state. In a round theater, a round is a situation. So there are the different kinds of adjectives that we use. For example, colors are adjective. For example, black, blue, white, green, red. Sizes are also adjectives. For example, big, small, large, thin, thick. Shapes are also adjective. For example, triangular, round, square, circular. Qualities are also adjective. Like a qualities example, good, bad, mediocre. Personality traits are also your adjective. For example, happy, sad, angry, depressed. Time related activities are also like yearly, monthly, annually. Age related, new, young, old, brand new, second hand. Sound related are also like loud, noisy, quiet, silent. These are all adjectives. Touch related like slippery, it's sticky. Taste related like juicy, sweet, sour, salty. Okay. Now you would have to find which is an adjective over there, what kind of adjective and how many adjectives are there. Add is an adjective and it's a kind of quality. Is that wool sweeter? Wool sweeter. And just give me 5 minutes. Okay, there are the two basic, not these are the types but the degrees. First is the common degree, now the comparative, and now the superlative. There are the three forms of adjectives. The first one, like beautiful, is a common adjective, but when we say that it is more beautiful, then we are comparing the two things, and that are the comparative. Comparative are used to compare the two things. You can use the sentences with that, or you can use a conjunction like but. Sarah is shorter than Tom. Now you can see that there is two type of persons are being mentioned in this sentence, like Sarah and Tom. So there's a competition between, we will use than, shorter than. Okay, Sarah is a tall, but the Tom is taller. Superlative, above from all, it is used to compare more than two things. Superlative sentences usually use the because. There is only one superlative. Tom is the tallest in the class. Sarah is tall and Mary is taller, but Tom is the tallest in the class. So that is why there are the three degrees: the positive, comparative, and superlative. The one syllable adjective: tall, taller, tallest. Old, older, oldest. Long, longer, longest. From the comparative and superlative forms of one syllable adjective, by adding er or compared to est, we can use that. Mary is taller than Max. Mary is the taller in all of the students. So in like this. Find the adjective it needs. If there is no adjective, say none. Kitten and cats makes fun cats. I think so. There's no none. Okay. Jack's computer got a virus. The concert last night was fantastic. Now, being fantastic is a kind of property, is a kind of situation, is a kind of position. That's it. Playing on the computer is a favorite. Favorite is an adjective. I usually put ketchup. Usually. When I listen to music, I enjoy listening to loud. Being loud is a state, so you can say it's an adjective. My teacher was very helpful. Now, being helpful is a quality, so that's an adjective. So you can read all these sentences to find the adjective who's there. Now come towards the adverbs. Shining brightly. Describe the verb, adjective, another verb. So adverb means adjective verb together, where we combine the adjectives and verbs together to show the property of something or to magnify something. Then you use, for example, the sun is shining brightly. Brightly is an adverb. An adverb can modify a verb, an adjective, another adverb, a phrase, or a clause. An adverb indicates the manner, time, place, cause, or degree in answer to questions such as how, when, where, how much. An adverb is a word that adds the information to a verb, an adjective, or an adverb. And the common way to form an adverb is to add the letter ly to the adjective or the verb. For example, bright is an adjective, but when you add ly, brightly, it would become an adverb. Very quickly, quietly, very soon, in a hurry. So the adverbs modify or describe a verb or adjective, another verb. He ran quickly. Quickly is quick is an adjective, but when we put ly, it becomes an adverb. She left yesterday. We went there, it was too hot. So there are different kinds of adverbs. Interrogative adverbs like introducing questions. How did you break your leg? When does your plane leave? So, how often you run? Often. So, how, when, how often, where. These all are interrogative adverbs. Conjunctive adverbs. You can use a conjunctive adverb to join the clauses together. Some of the most common conjunctive adverbs are also, consequently, finally, furthermore, hence, however, incidentally, indeed, instead, likewise, meanwhile, nevertheless, next, nonetheless, otherwise, still, then, therefore, and thus. So the highlighted words in the following sentences are conjunctive adverbs. The government has cut university budgets. Consequently, class sizes have been increased. He did not have everything the recipe called, therefore he decided to make something else. Like, you would have to know that adverbs are of different types, like interrogative, in which you're asking someone, and conjunctive, in which you are linking or you're connecting two sentences or two states with each another. For example, the crowd waited for 3 hours. Finally, there is another phrase or the clause. The doors to the stadium was open. Anyways, the adverbs of time tell when the something happens, and adverbs of frequency. There are the two different categories, adverb of time and adverb of frequency. Adverb of frequency, how often something happens. Below are the example common word or adverbs of time and adverbs of frequency. Do it now. Now is the time. Then, soon, today, tomorrow, yesterday, recently. Those all depict the time. But always, sometimes, usually, never, rarely, once and twice. These are the adverbs which are referring how often something happens. Like, is it happen on daily basis, or seldomly, or rarely, or once or twice? So there the number of times the thing is happening is called how often something is happening. And which time is being happening? Now, then, soon, today, tomorrow. These all showing the time. So there are the two type of adverbs, keep in your mind. Adverb of time and adverb of frequency. Find adverb the first sentence and fill the gap. John is happy. She smiles happily. Now you look towards these all blanks and would have to put the suitable adverbs over here. Fill in the blanks with the correct adverbs as given below. angrily. Enough. Never outside yesterday. She left dash for the university where she is doing a degree course. She left yesterday for the university. She left because it is using a past tense over here. We're standing outside. He told us angrily not to walk on the grass. Now, what kind of tougher person is what to not on the grass? Why would not to walk on the grass? Like this sentence is jokes apart. Okay, I'm not strong enough to help him carry the box. Okay, there are different type of adverbs overall. Down, last week, often, quickly, rarely, and we have already talked about them. Always, just, nearly, online, usually. Now come towards another part of speech, and that is a preposition. What is a preposition? A preposition links the noun, pronouns, and phrases to other words in a sentence. The word or phrase that the prepositions introduce is called the object of the preposition. Now, defining preposition. A preposition connects the words, clause, and sentences together and shows the relationship between them. For example, my hand is on the table shows the relation between the hand and table. Prepositions are so called because preposition. Now there are the two words. Preposition are so called because they are generally placed before the word whose correction or relation with the other words they point out. For example, common English prepositions are above, after, behind, during, from, towards, until, in, outside, inside, over, etc. etc. There are the common preposition table, or you have to learn all this preposition chart. Now there is a picture story. In A, where it is on the chair, over the table, above the TV or computer, behind, in the almirah, on the bed, in front of the picture, behind the table. So there is the different situation. So you would have to find the suitable preposition which are being used in these kind of situations. How many students are joined the class and how many are in the class? Okay, there are 8 students. Fine. Okay. So choose the correct preposition or no preposition for the following sentences. He lives in dash. He lives dash in Hyderabad. So in would be the preposition. She went to home. I will be dash school at 9 p.m. I will be going to school. I will be go to school. Okay. He went dash his friend's house. He went for his friend's house. What do you do dash you were in London? So what do you do when you were in London? जब आप लंदन में थे तो क्या कर रहे थे? He talked about an hour. उसने तकरीबन 1 घंटा बात की. Dash our stay in London. During our stay in London, we visited a lot of museums. He has been working since 3 weeks. So time is always there. Preposition may be used as since. Now come towards another part of speech, and that is a conjunction. You can use a conjunction to link the words, phrases, and clauses. As in the following example, I ate the pizza and the pasta. Tell the movers when. The conjunction is a word that joins the words or group of words. Like and, but, or, either, nor, neither. These are all conjunctions. You use a coordination conjunction and, but, or, nor, for, so, or, yet to join the individual, the verb phrases and clauses. Note you can also use the conjunction but and for as prepositions as well. For example, Bergerie is the smallest of the humanist wine production regions of France. Okay, so and, but, or, not, for, yet, so. These are all the examples of conjunction. There are some subordinating conjunction. Introduces a dependent clause and indicates the nature of the relationship among the independent clauses and the dependent clauses. The most common subordinating conjunctions are after, although, as, because, before, how, if, once, etc., etc. You can see, I will share the notes with you. For example, after she had learned to drive, Elise felt more independent. That is more. After, if the paperwork arrives on the time, your check would be. There are some correlative conjunctions. Always appear in pairs. You use them to link the equivalent sentences elements, and the most common correlative conjunctions are both and either. Both and either are the correlative conjunctions. There is the example over there. List of the common conjunctions. And, or, but. These are coordinating. Other than that, after, although, so that, though, as, till, as if, unless, as long as. And there are a couple of examples you can see in this table. You would have to remind and memorize this table when I will share the notes with you guys. Select the appropriate coordinating conjunction. Now you have studied there are the two types of conjunction, coordinating and word subordinating. So here's an exercise to do. You will do that exercise as your activity. Now what's an interjection? An interjection is an exclamatory word that expresses your emotions. It's a word that added to a sentence to convey the emotion. It's not grammatically related to any other part of the sentence. You usually follow an interjection with an exclamation mark, like the highlighted word in the following sentences are interjections. Ouch! That hurts. Now, ouch is not an English word, but is an interjection to show that how much it hurts. Oh no, I forgot the exam was today. Like, oh no is not part of that sense in a sentence, but you use just to express your emotions. Hey, put that down. Hey, now hey is not part of that sentence which you want to say, like put that down, but still hey is a part of sentence as an interjection. I heard one guy to sing something. He was a new car. Now is a kind of interjection. I don't know about you, but good lord, I think taxes are too high. Oh, good lord is just like oh my god. So oh eek, oops. These all are the interjections. So here's a table of interjection. You will go through them and you will learn commonly used interjection from this table, which are being used in our daily life sentences or conversations as well. And interjection exercises. An interjection is an exclamation which shows that thoughts are failing in a meaningless string of sound, the same as an adjective. Okay, so you would have to select the interjections being used. The Spanish soup is out of this world. Okay, anyways, G, excuse me. Yes. No, we have ended it. Yes, that is the last slide, I guess. Oh yes.